Welcome to Coffee with the Mayor. I'm Deb Trelli, and we are broadcasting live from the top of Tampa Bay in beautiful downtown Oldsmar with our host, Oldsmar Mayor Eric-Seidel. These segments are featured each Wednesday following an Oldsmar City Council meeting for the community. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. How are you?
Bushy-tailed and wacky, so.
I see that. And we're down to one camera today.
We are, yes.
So, I hate they're stuck with me the whole time.
Aw. No, you're all good. So Emily is with us this morning.
She is. She's stepping in.
Yeah. So yeah, Mark's out. So we wishing Mark a speedy recovery
Not
in case he's
well.
watching.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah,
Mark. Get well quick.
yeah, please. So before we begin, we encourage our viewing audience to submit any questions they may have during this segment by commenting on our Facebook live feed, and you can always email mayor-seidel directly at eseidel@myoldsmar.com. Coffee with the Mayor is to keep our community informed on highlights from last night's council meeting. So probably the biggest thing on that agenda was Felicia Donnelly was officially sworn into her position as the new city manager for Oldsmar at the start of the meeting last night. So how did her first meeting go?
It went good.
Aw,
It went good.
You guys were not tough on her?
No, I did have to remind her a little bit about, and staff recommends at the end of her report. But no, she did great. It was a fun night. It's a big night. And, of course, Jim was out there, her husband and family. And Commissioner Eggers came out to wish her well, Pinellas County Commissioner. And past Mayor Jerry Beaverland was out there to wish her well. So it was really nice. Got her sworn in, and she jumped right in there. And boom, 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 we're off and running. And a whole new era begins.
Yeah.
Right? So it's exciting. It's exciting. But she did great.
Good.
First one of many.
Yeah, that's true, yes.
First of many.
So were there any interesting comments during Citizens Open Forum?
Actually, it was pretty quiet. It was funny because Mayor Beaverland went last on the congratulations, and then he said, I do have something else I want to talk about. So I immediately switched to the Citizens Open Forum so I could start timing him.
5 minutes.
That's going to be our running joke. He and I,
No
'cause
doubt.
He laughs about it. But he did. He talked about over in Hillsborough County, their Veterans Park, they have what's known as a Path of Heroes.
Oh, wow.
And the mayor and I have talked about this before, and I've gone over there to look at it, and it's really a way to take our Veterans Park, which I think is just amazing, but to the next level. Mm-hmm. And certainly it's something we would involve the Veterans Advisory Board in. But so he brought that up about adding it as a future agenda item. So, but that was it. There were no comments. It was fairly quiet.
That's good.
Yeah.
Surprising.
It's always
Start of the
nice.
year. That's pretty
It's always
bonusy.
nice,
So, yeah. So I know you presented the Business of the Quarter Award last night for the fourth quarter of 2021. Who was the award presented to?
It was presented to the Wingos, who opened up the TLC Adult Daycare and Recreation Center. And so Tom has spent years in adult health care and nursing homes and in those types of facilities. I mean, he has a 25-year history. He served as CEO and CFO.
Wow.
And years ago, his family, not too long ago, I should say, his family and I got together and they asked the question, is there a safe and affordable option for families to stay home longer with loved ones who need the help?
Yeah.
And where the caregiver, though, needs help during the day. They might have a job or needs a break, whatever the case be. And so they made the decision to open up this adult daycare. And it's right over here on Tampa Road.
By Jimmy John's?
By Jimmy John's,
Okay.
right over there. And they've done a terrific job. I'll tell you, as mayor, I have the opportunity sometimes to meet with prospective new businesses or when they first arrive, before they get open. And the chamber normally sets it up, and it's an opportunity for them to meet the mayor. And normally we have the city manager there. So it just gives them we like to call it kind of a concierge service. Uh-huh. Welcome to the community.
That's nice.
Here's who you might need help from. Here's our phone numbers. And I remember meeting with them prior to them being open. They had just signed a lease. And when I left, and I've done a lot of those meetings, but when I left, I thought to myself, the passion that they have for this.
Oh.
they're going to be successful, and they have been. And they opened up right before COVID.
Oh, geez.
So it was tough going, and they almost didn't make it, but they hunkered down, they got through it, and now they're almost full. And
Wow.
so they're a great success story. We're happy they're here.
No doubt.
And they're terrific people, too. So the family's terrific. You go in there, and it's very lively, and people having a good time. I've been in there a few times just to stop in, and really good. So congratulations to them, well-deserved.
Wonderful.
Now, before you move on, there was a second presentation that was presented last night that I noticed in our outline didn't appear.
Yes.
And it was from the Florida Municipal Communicators Association.
Uh-huh.
And who's the state president of that, by the way?
I think her name's Devitrelli.
That would be you.
It is, yes.
And so you're so humble that you took this off, but the city was recognized with 2 awards. And I should add, prior to becoming president.
Yes.
Just so it doesn't seem like you're giving yourself awards.
Yeah.
But we were recognized for Best Podcast, and that was for a podcast with a city manager, where he talked about his experience of being city manager during COVID.
Yeah.
And then we were also an honorable mention for a podcast with the Chamber's chairman of the board, Jason Sanders. And so it's a huge deal. And so we presented those last night, and really yourself and Mark deserve a lot of credit.
No, thank you.
For that kind of recognition for our city. Podcast is a new venture for us that we really started this year, or I guess last year.
Yeah.
And to be recognized right out of the chute for outstanding work says a lot.
Oh.
So congratulations.
Well, thank you.
And to the staff who's involved in it.
Yeah.
And,
Mark too.
Yeah. And the only thing I don't like about it was when I heard about it, it made it kind of difficult to be around the city manager because the city manager said, "Hey, did you hear that I got an award for the best podcast?" I said,
Did he really?
I hadn't heard that yet. And he goes, "Did you hear about yours?" I'm like, "Did I get one for our podcast?" He goes, "0." 0.
Oh.
So other than that, he didn't really do that.
No, of course not.
He will. He will. But anyhow, congratulations. It's a big
well, thank
honor.
you.
And
Appreciate that.
It just shines on the city.
No. Well, council discussed open house meetings on development agreements last night. Curious how that one went.
It went great. I had this item added to the agenda because I want us to have a plan moving forward, and certainly that we've gotten the feedback from the community. And, it's been difficult to have these hearings because we don't have a specific proposal yet. And so it's more in the general area of should we have more density, should we not, that kind of thing. But this is really regarding we know there is an agreement out there that's coming, or a proposal, I should say. There's a concept plan out there, but there's a proposal that's coming. And we have some ideas on how it's going to be. But as we get that, what I suggested to the council, and we were completely had 100% consensus on this, was the way we approach it when we receive it, because that's not really spelled out in our protocols. And so the approach is going to be when we get that proposal or any other proposal, because I think there could be more than one, would not surprise me.
Yeah, sure.
And that what our approach to it will be is we'll receive it as a council. It'll give us an opportunity to review it. And unless somebody really makes an effort to try to kill it right on the spot, which I would anticipate probably not, but that we won't vote on it. What we'll do is then go hold a series of open houses. And so the difference between an open house and a public hearing, or what often is referred to as a town hall and a public hearing are very similar. Everyone gets so much time to speak, but it's not an interactive scenario.
Yeah.
It's because that doesn't really work in that environment. An open house, however, is where we take the details of that proposal. Let's just say some of the key issues. What's the impact of traffic? What's the impact of parking? These are some of the questions you hear being asked about anything being done downtown, which are legit questions.
Definitely.
And it then gives you, now you have a proposal so you can answer the questions to that. Because I know there's been some speculation on the parking, which I think is a mistake because we require a parking study, right? We require these things, and they're different based on what the proposal is.
Yeah.
And so what we would do is when we have a proposal, before the council votes up or down on it, we would then hold 3 meetings. And the way we want to do it is we want to have an open house at Tico Hall over by the library. We want to have one over at Cypress Forest Rec Center. And then we want to have one, I spoke to the folks out at Golair for their community center.
That's nice.
Which is good because people over in that area are accustomed to going there to voting. And so we'll hold 3 different ones, and we'll do it in a way that it's an open house, like it's from X time to X time. We'll try to move the times around to be accommodating for folks. Excuse me. And you'll have like an area over here when you walk in. It's about parking, and over here is about maybe the street side look to it. Different things where people can ask questions, get answers, and we can record that. And so staff will work on some ways to, have the codes that people can scan.
QR,
and give feedback as they're going through it. And so it's a different approach. We want to involve more folks in it. And so the council was 100% in agreement that that's something that we should do. So stay tuned. There's more to come.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Approval was requested for the consent to assignment of the solid waste collection franchise agreement to Coastal Waste and Recycling of Central Florida. Was this approved?
It was approved, and it's almost a housekeeping thing. It's not uncommon where you see that companies will change hands and that type of stuff. It's also actually built into the agreement that it is assignable.
Okay.
And so it does require our approval. So we gave it. There's no changes to collections. There's, it is in the boardroom versus on the street kind of change.
Got it. Yeah.
Yes, it was approved.
Oh, good. And also approval was requested for the special event application fee waiver for the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce's Second Friday events. And those will be held January 14th, February 11th, March 11th, April 8th, and May 13th. I'm assuming this was approved.
It was approved.
Okay.
It was approved. That event keeps growing. And it's funny because, you get into the holidays, you got people traveling and that kind of stuff. And frankly, I was kind of surprised that they still held it in December. And they still had a nice turnout.
Yeah.
And so what's amazing to me that right now, here we're talking about an event that is next Friday, the first one, right?
Yeah.
And that's mid-January already. What is happening? It
seems the older I get, the quicker it goes,
Like, don't go to sleep. It'll be next year,
Yeah.
But anyhow, it was approved unanimously, and the Chamber of Commerce does a terrific job with those events. And so I encourage everyone to come out. It's held downtown.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's not super long, and the weather should be great. And so
car show too, right?
Car show. They got the big car show going on, and it's all free.
Oh, even better.
Even better. So bring the kids out.
Approval was requested also for naming the fenced-in area at the Lightning Made Street Hockey Rink presented by Heritage Insurance to the Braithwaite Hockey Center. Was this approved?
It was approved. Aww. It was approved unanimously.
Well deserved.
And for those who weren't able to attend, there was a going away celebration held on at the hockey rink for Al's retirement.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it was such a nice send-off, and it was, I personally was like, I don't know how this is going to work. We're going to go eat cake and play hockey. I don't know. But that's pretty much how it went.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun. It was well attended, and when we announced, Al did not know that was happening.
Oh.
And so we announced it out there, and he got very emotional.
Did he cry?
I don't think he cried.
No.
I'm not going to lie. I'd love to make that up, but he's not that emotional.
Hockey, come on.
Hockey, right.
Now.
They don't cry in hockey.
There's no crying in hockey.
But anyhow, we announced it out there, and it was a really well-attended event. And so, this was kind of the follow-through for it. And it's exciting, and it's very fitting. This is a guy who was very passionate about that project.
Oh, definitely.
And it certainly brought a lifetime, which I hope will be a lifetime relationship for the city with the Lightning.
Yeah.
And they're just a Class A organization, and they've followed through on their support. And as a matter of fact, we have another hockey training program coming up.
That's true.
And so in any event, yes, it did pass.
Well, good. Good to hear. Any other key action items from the meeting or announcements?
No, there's some announcements. I just mentioned the free hockey clinic, which will be Saturday, January 15th from 11 to 1:30, and it's by age bracket. You can go online to get more details, boltsmar.com.
Boltsmar,
Oldsmar will be down there. And, of course, we have the Christmas tree recycling taking place over by Ariel's Park. And so don't dump that out in your front yard.
No, please don't.
Please don't do that.
We need mulch.
I told the story last night that, we opened that like the day before Christmas. And I live around the corner from there. And I was driving by Christmas morning. I had to run up to the convenience store at about 11 o'clock. And I was driving back. There was already a Christmas tree in the
On
lot.
Christmas morning.
Christmas morning.
Ooh,
and
kind of Grinchy.
Yeah, a little bah humbug, right?
Yeah.
But in any event, so that's happening. And just a little follow-up on looking back, I just want to take the opportunity to thank Ashley Painter, who's our sustainability coordinator. As you know, on December 11th, we had the vertical-oyster-garden event out by Ariel's Park, and we had almost 100 people out there. I mean, it was well attended. We made a lot of vertical oyster gardens, and so that project is off and running, and it will be ongoing. And so, but I wanted to recognize her in particular because she did a terrific job in organizing and putting it together. And of course, that night we had the golf cart parade.
Oh, wow, busy weeks.
At the same time as the garden, we had Santa in the park. Which I need to thank Councilmember Saraki because he helped bring Santa Claus out there.
Oh, that's nice of him.
Yeah, that was he was doing that, and so we had the golf cart parade that night, and so all these events take a lot of staff's time.
Yeah.
So it's our opportunity as citizens to say thank you.
Definitely.
Because it really makes the holidays and makes our town special. And then on the 12th, the next day, for those of you who live over by Veterans Park. It was a tribute to the troops put on their Gold Star Mother's Day, if you will. And we're honoring Gold Star families that day. And they do a procession of motorcycles leading there, and it's just a beautiful event. And Vice Mayor Knapp represented the city at that. I was out sick that day, actually. And but Vice Mayor Knapp did a terrific job, and it was a very nice event. There was one other thing that happened, I think, last night that's worth noteworthy, and it's an idea that someone brought to me that there is property, as we probably know if you live over or spend any time over on Shore Drive in the city on the bay over by the park. If you go down to Oakwood, there's those 2 lots over there that we don't own that are contiguous to the dog park. And so we learned that they were on the market. Turned out they actually are not on the market. But we reached out to the owner. He owns the 3 lots there. He built a house on one, sold it. And he expressed a possible interest for us to do something.
Wow,
on that.
that's waterfront.
Yeah. And, I love our parks. I'm not a big fan of continuing to build new parks because I think we have a lot to take care of.
Yeah.
But that's a one-off opportunity.
Doubt.
So I brought it to the council, and we're going to pursue it. So that was
wonderful.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
It may not be something we can do, but I think it's pretty noteworthy of something that we worked on last night.
Wow,
so that's about it. What do we got? Any questions on Facebook?
Emily's saying no.
Emily's saying no. Well, that's probably a good thing. I should mention one other thing. Monday, January 17th, Martin Luther King birthday. We're closed. And with that, I'm looking at the time, and I'm saying to myself, I'm almost out of coffee.
Uh-oh.
And so I think that's probably a wrap.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Mark, feel better. Emily, thank you for stepping in. And Deb, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, man.
I want to thank all of our citizens for tuning in today and wish them a great day and Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.